haven't actually used this camera in a while, but oh my god, there's so much to say. There's just so much to say. I have to come online. And this is kind of cool. This is called the R-Bond. I think that's what it's called. It's basically like this little train out here that I used to get from the town that I'm living in to Munich. So that's where I'm going right now. Anyway, I thought this was really funny because I didn't realize this until kind of right now. Basically, all of the people that I'm following right now have left America, which is like wild. Like, I really like. Well, I don't know why Shara Henley's name is coming up, but maybe it's because so many other people mentioned her. But Shayna, right? Melanie, and there's even some other woman that I found recently, and she also is legitimately like no longer in America. Maybe I'll actually move you guys so you can kind of try to follow this view. It's a really awesome view. Hold on. Can you guys kind of see me? Hopefully. Anyway. Okay. So what is it that I actually have to say? Because basically, I feel like it's been a while that I've known that I wanted to like leave. And I didn't really have like a concrete plan or anything. If you're interested in how I did it, then you know, message me. I'll like help share with you as many details as I can. But I knew that like it was not safe for me, and I just kind of feel like it is refreshing right now to hear other women say that. And I wrote this, but I want to like say it in words so that it's like very clear. The reason that I feel like right now it's not very safe for like black women in America, it has nothing to do with Trump specifically. Like, it's not about that. I don't think that his president, like him, and how can you say this? Because I do think that he's a part of a team. I would say that. I think he's part of a team. I feel like there are some things that people are missing. Like, it sounds like Republicans took the House, they took the Senate, and now they took in the presidential seat. Things are going to go really, really, really red. They're already kind of red, but I mean, I think for a majority of people, they are going to experience like a conservative leadership agenda that I don't even want to pretend like I don't agree with like some of it, because I do. But I think that it's going to be a real culture shock for a lot of people, because there's some people who are like kind of fighting for, what's a good way to say this? They are fighting for like a liberal agenda and benefiting from it, and when it goes away, they will understand like and the downstream effects from it. So like some things like this is really important for women. A lot of people are talking about reproductive rights, and that's one part of it, yes. But we've already had a lot of reproductive rights kind of taken away, right? Like going back Roe's Wade was bad. I mean, can you believe that that actually like happened in our time? Like, that's real. And so if you weren't really, if it didn't impact you, like if you were already living in a state where nothing changed, like if you're living in California or if you're living in New York, nothing changed for you, so it doesn't really matter. What this matters for like the way I think things are going to change now for women specifically, and I think women of color, is a lot of, okay, we already know that there's not, in all communities, there's not a surplus of really, really great guys who are ready and prepared for marriage and family, and they are able to work and keep a job and financially support a family. Like, there are not these men, a whole bunch of these men in society right now. There are definitely some like males in society who they're alive, they have a pulse, they know how to like start trouble, you know what I mean? They know how to pull other people into their trouble. And so just imagine this, like the economy isn't going to get better immediately. It's probably not going to get better for a while. And so these people who are already not doing well, they're not going to start thriving. They're going to start doing worse. And what they're going to do is pull people down with them. And when I say people, it's not going to be other men. It's going to be women. Okay. already marginalized women, who are already targeted, those are the women that are going to like go after them. And a lot of these, unfortunately, will be black women. And that is where it is so scary for me. Like, there was a girl who was on this channel a while ago. I hope that she's still here. If you are still here, you know, please reach out or speak up something, because I keep seeing like the urban youth believe that like something's going to happen with TikTok or social media, like everyone's going to be a social media influencer. And here's where like I just want to point out 2 examples and how strange it is that this is what people are talking about. So there's something going on with Halle Bailey and DDG, and this is like all the news in like black celebrity culture. And I'm totally air quoting this because like we're still at 12%. People, like 12% in America for a racial group is just nothing. Like that percentage is so small. No one, like, it's almost non-existent because it's going down, right? So now there's one, well, I'm gonna air quote this again, mother, right? It's like, I get it. Like Halle Bailey is a new mom. Also, like, why can't we be serious about that? She's a new mom, so she doesn't like know shit, right? Also, like, her baby daddy's like a loser, and we all know this too. So why is there an expectation or a sort of like, how do you say, some sort of like a, why are we treating these people like they know what they're talking about? Like they don't, but they seriously don't. And so I'm sorry, but I'm tired of seeing her little child everywhere on the internet. Like, I think that she should do, both of them collectively together should do a better job of keeping that kid in kids' activities, okay? Put him on the playground, put him wherever the fuck he's gonna go, but like, don't let me know. And so I guess the latest issue that happened is Kai Cenat, who, oh my god, that person is so problematic already, but the dad, DDG, puts the baby on the podcast or something. What? Anyway, so then now, and Halle was out of town, so she didn't know about this, and she's going on to make statements. Oh, I didn't know. You guys should, first of all, let me stop for a second, because I want to be clear to people whose feet are on the ground and who live in the real world. Just imagine how loony it is. This is a person, like, we don't know her. Whoever she's talking to, they don't know her either. The only person she should be talking to about this is her baby daddy. That's it. And maybe her mom, Chloe, maybe. Why do y'all care? What is her like? They're literally trying to be celebrities. They're trying to like do things to get media to talk about them. And I would just really question, why the fuck do you care? It's idiotic. It's weird. It's like, it's all the things that they keep promoting, things that are like going in the wrong direction. It would be one thing if they were promoting this little kid as being like a little kid on the playground with other little kids, you know, he's reading or something, I don't know, doing other things that, wasn't he like 1 or 2? Doing other shit that like 2-year-olds do. That is not the case. It's like continuously we keep seeing this little kid in adult spaces. That's how you know it's inappropriate. That's why, like, some of y'all should just tune out. It's kind of like what was happening with, like, Blueface and whatever, that whole couple. Like, they're weird and they're problematic, and every single thing that they were doing was, like, really strange and problematic because it didn't have to be that way. It wasn't like, you know, if you're watching, is it Haraz? That, the guy who's in, he was in the West Bank or something, and he was, like, taking videos, making movies and stuff about what was happening there. And so he was basically, he's like a photojournalist, right? Like giving us information we could not get in other places. You could, I mean, if you're a new mom or something, you could just go to the park and then you would get that information. You don't need to go on social media to follow Howie to see that, you know? And I also think it's kind of strange and weird because in a time where I do think that, especially in the like, how do you say it? If you were living in the developed world as a black woman, a black young woman, you should really be focused on things like birth control, education, and your money. Like, there's not another kid. I think that it is very dangerous to start to prioritize things like family and how do you say, like family, community. I definitely think you should build a community, but you should build a community around people who are politically aware, because like things are actually political. I feel like a lot of the youth who continue to follow, unfortunately, like whatever Hallie and PDG and those people are doing, are going to fare so awfully because they have a community and they have like money and resources to fall back on. You probably don't. You know what I mean? Like if you're following them, you probably don't, because statistically, like most African American families don't have that. And the statistics aren't coming from nowhere. They're pulling them from data and like real life outcomes of real people who are like struggling, who are down bad. And if we're being perfectly honest, like Hallie went from a Disney princess to doing some like Roby TV or some crap. I don't know, whatever movie she's putting out now. It's not a Disney movie, right? That's not the point. That's not the point. I'm not trying to shade these people at all. It's not shade. It's just more like pragmatism. Like if you're going to follow someone, I would say follow Ballerina Farm, right? At least she's got a farm, she's got a husband, okay, she's got like 8 kids, and her whole job is to like raise them. So yeah, if you want to, I don't know, tailor some land or something and milk a cow, do that and go follow that community of like. There's also a community, and you know, I think I'm gonna actually write about this, but I mean like seriously take some time to like come up with specific themes that I want to explain to you, because I saw that Nara Smith and Ballerina Farm came together and they had some time. It was like family bonding time, and it was like, this makes so much sense, right? Because they are literally like women who have similar upbringing, similar culture, similar goals, similar lifestyles, and those women are now in a similar community, and it makes sense, right? But what doesn't make sense is, you know, if you are living in a developed world and you don't have like a life plan, a trust fund, you don't have an education plan, you don't even have like your own housing or something yet. These are like basic things. Like it's not too many things. Like let's go back for a second. Like a lot of, and I feel like some of these issues I've covered before. Like I talk about social class a lot, but I think that not everyone, a lot of people just automatically believe that everyone is middle class, and that people who are actually middle class in America, they especially if you're upper middle class, you're in such close proximity to like actual wealth. Like I talk about this all the time, but maybe like some of you don't actually know people who go to the Ivy League schools, or you're like, those aren't the people who were in your classrooms. Like I went to school, so many people who went to Ivy League school, and it's like those campuses are full of wealthy people, like really wealthy people. Not maybe like Donald Trump or Kim Kardashian rich, but think like, okay, you know how in Mean Girls there was like the dad of I think Gretchen, he invented like toaster strudel, and so it was like, you know what toaster strudel is, but then you wouldn't think until you think back to like Ivy and shit like that. They're like, that guy, man, a lot, you know. So if you go to some people's homes and they're like, you know, mini mansions, and you're like, oh damn, like, you know, or if your own family members, you know, I don't know. I think there's a certain thing about watching wealth on the internet and then actually having people in your family, or just knowing people in real life who are, how do you say, they're like multipliers more wealthy than you. And even like than Hallie. I mean, I feel like this is a video shitting on her, but I just want to put things into proximity, because already, like, if you're comparing Chloe and Hallie to Beyonce, I think even Beyonce grew up more upper middle class, right? Chloe and Hallie didn't. I think they were pretty like lower middle class, or just like barely pushing middle class. So that means, and it's not like she made a bunch of money doing the Disney movie. So like even her net worth right now is not like that high. DDG's isn't either. I'm not saying these people are broke, but they're not like, they're orders of magnitude less wealthy, okay, than a Kardashian or a Trump. So think maybe in terms of that, they're like Nick Cannon in like 2000 or something. It's a lot less, okay? It's a lot. Oh god. I just what I'm saying is like, it's just more important right now, especially for like women, especially for women who are like not a part of the upper middle class, basically, to kind of make moves, like actual take action to move into the middle class. And what I mean by that is like, go to school, go get a job, go have an apartment, and go do those things, all of the things that are required to maintain that. That's what like everyone else is doing, obviously, but like, you go do that. You know, don't talk about somebody else doing it. Like, now it's your turn. Like, you go actively do that. Because if you're not doing that, I feel like we're going to see, there's, oh my God, like I'm very concerned about minority women in this group and them being like, it's not just big targets, because like a lot of people, especially like Destiny Ute, is a really good channel to follow if you want to see more and more examples of this. But it's kind of like urban decay affecting marginalized women, because she pinpoints example after example of like, this is happening to women, this is happening to women, this, and she like gives the example and she always clips the TikToks of other people talking about it. If you go watch that and then you like how do you say it, multiply the detrimental factors of that by like 10 or 12, that's probably what the next 4 years are going to look like. Because if you thought people were down bad before, imagine no public schools, no public housing, like transportation and infrastructure not improving, people just having no money for food, no social services. It's just like, oh my God. Yeah, that it's going to be bad. But it doesn't have to be bad for everyone. It can just be bad for some people. And it could just be like kind of, I think a lot of it comes down to lack of information, right? If you have like a small amount of information that enables you to like, it's like, okay, not to be funny or anything, and not just because I'm in Europe right now, but think about Harry Potter. Remember, like, Harry was always smart, but also Harry lived in a closet. His family hated him. Okay, his one friend that he had, they literally like took the friend away. Like, he was down bad, but at the same time, like over time, he became better. His situation improved. How can we put this? Like, you could be in a situation where you're in a similar space to Harry, and over time, you gradually improve. Your situation gets better. I'm just gonna go back to myself for a second, because people always say like, oh, well, why are you talking about this? Why do you care? Why do you care? Well, the whole reason I made the channel was to not be Hallie, right? Like, I'm sorry, but I can't stand the like Beyonce impersonators. Like, everyone thinks that like all Black American women want to be Beyonce or we care about her, and I'm sorry, but no. I thought that the Kamala endorsement was so like, it gave me the ick to a point where I wanted to throw up and unfollow her, because that was pathetic. Like, I don't know, I don't agree with it at all. I almost like hate it. It was bad. It was so awful. But, and it can't just be Candace Owens who's like the only conservative online. And like I said, I'm not a conservative, I'm a moderate. So where is the space for moderate women? I couldn't find one. Especially like, where's the space for moderate Black women? It doesn't exist at all, right? So obviously I had to create it. Anyway. Another thing I want to propose, if you're new here, because some of you are, and go back, because I really tried to make playlists that have here's another thing about this channel, which is a little bit different than others. I don't repeat myself, so if I already talked about something, I'll just go link it, and unless I have like new information to share, I'm not going to say the same thing over again. Like, what I said is what I said, and most of the time at this point, it's been like lived experience that has helped me form my opinion. It's not just coming from like theory or reading articles and stuff. But one thing I do try to include are like other opinions that are either challenging mine or that I've used to inform my own opinion, or sometimes people just say things better, you know, than I say them. So I'm like, listen to this person because they said it in a more eloquent way, or Khadijah, who will spend a whole month, you know, making these video essays so that it's like well scripted. I don't script, I just like go off the riff. So that's a bit different. What else do I have to say about this? Oh, so like I said, if you're new here, and especially if you feel, there was one girl, maybe I'll like click her comment because I want her to come back or just speak up more. And I think it wasn't the 4B video. I can't remember which video it was, but I'm gonna find it. And she was basically talking about how like what I was talking about was affecting her so much. She was like, I'm in this situation, like this really impacts me. And I was like, yay, like you are the person who I'm trying to reach. Now the problem that I continue to see with that group of people, especially that group of like young black girls, is they get so caught up in the like living life, like the challenges of living life, that they don't get time to reflect. And that's one thing, that's where we differ quite a lot. Like I moved off my family for a very long time, and by doing that I had opportunities to reflect. So the mistakes that I made were like life hacking mistakes, and we talked about this. I'm not going to go back, but if you want to hear those stories, I've already told them, so go back, listen to them for yourself. There's thousands of videos of this channel, so go back and watch. What I'm saying though is that right, I don't, the struggles that I continue to see in the urban youth were not my personal struggles. That doesn't mean I can't like take a step back and be like, but if I was in this situation, here's what I would do. Like that's kind of what this is. And I'm really happy that that young lady found the space. And if you're here, speak up. We would all love to like hear from you. There's a pretty like diverse group of thinkers here, and I would say also maybe the more well-traveled of us are probably here. Also, shout out to Smarty. I love your comments. They're great. Like, and no, like I did not actually like, and I said this in the recent form, but I want to say it again. Like I did not come to Europe because of the election. The election had nothing to do with me, you know, being here. The timing just happened to work out that way. And funny enough, I didn't even tell my parents that I was coming. Like I've been here for like, what is it, like about a week and a half now, and I literally just told my mom like last night. So she was like, she thought I was joking. I was like, yeah, I'm in Germany, and she's like, what? So there's that. The timing just worked out. It just did. Oh my, it's just. I feel optimistic, and because I continue to see the titles are starting to change. I feel like more equipped, how do you say it, like not middle aged, but more like they're like young adult women, but they're like they've like lived a little longer than like 18, you know, so they have some life experience that could be useful for something. And they're sharing, you know, they're saying like, here's a resource guide for Black people in America, how to survive the next 4 years, things like that. I feel like we needed these videos way before now, but just the fact that we're getting them now is still good. And I would advise some of you who need the mentorship to take it, because you didn't have this before, and like now you have it. Yeah, I kind of wanted to pop on and say that. I don't really have much more, and I don't want to just blab on and on because I'm trying to save like storage space. There's a lot to cover. If you have other topics that you'd like me to talk